I said, look, on one level, you've got to realize this was utterly performative. Now, just bear me out on this.
Okay.
Let's just say this is someone who genuinely wanted to appeal to Trump to get him to change his position on some things. Can I just say, if you present yourself as a bishop, you're meant to have some form of pastoral sensitivity, some sort of experience with how people are and what's most effective in getting what you want from them. Well, this is a spectacular failure, isn't it? Because who actually thinks that Trump is going to be persuaded to do anything by being publicly embarrassed and preached to on a topic on which he's going to take a hard line? Like, who... to me, if this was a person that was genuinely thinking that this would make a difference to the president, the newly elected president, then that is at worst naive.
So they're not actually doing that, though. Is that what you're?
Well, this is my point. So she cannot be that stupid. She really cannot be that stupid. In which case, here's what it was, Steve, and this is only the first thing we want to say about it. It was just an attempt to be seen to be saying something to Trump, as opposed to actually genuinely getting anything out of it. But the thing that was sought was to be seen, to be, the speaking truth to power, although quite frankly, how dangerous it was for her.
Can I just point out, I think that's speaking power to power, because if you were an Episcopalian from a progressive framework in the United States, the culture is going with you.
And it did. They all cheered. She was on the breakfast shows the next day and the lunchtime things and doing the interviews and everyone applauding her and so on. So,
just an aside, if you speak truth to power in the Episcopalian setting and you're a conservative evangelical,
Mariann Budde and her peers were heartlessly cruel, the same cruelty that she accuses Trump of, perhaps even correctly, of in some of the things, that and worse to Orthodox ministers and even other bishops.
In their own diocese.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're not saying that a broken clock can't say that, tell the right time twice a day. Right? Right.
For the umpteenth time, let's all just be really clear on who Trump is. But that's the point I'm making. Given who he is, naively foolish if you genuinely thought. But I don't think for a moment she genuinely thought this would make a difference to Trump. She just it was performative. And so, lots of people have been quoting different bits of the Bible about what it looked like. This is Jeremiah. No, it wasn't. These are the people when Jesus says, beware those who stand on the street corner saying their prayers. Why are they on the street corner? Because on a street corner, you can be seen from all directions, can't you?
Yeah.
They get their reward. And in the 48 hours afterwards, Mariann Budde got her reward. She got exactly what she worked for. And hurrah, well done, Mariann Budde. But
I would say, as preachers of long in the tooth, would say, if you want to convince anyone in the congregation by what you're saying, haranguing them or belittling them in front of other people seems like Ministry 101 failure, doesn't it?
Well, it's at best. It's lazy, but here's the thing that's really going on. You see, she didn't actually use the gospel.
No.
In fact, if you go through it, there's actually no gospel there. There's moralism, and there's a particular political flavor of moralism that's there, but no gospel. And so that's actually, we want to go more fundamentally. That's the issue here, and it's the critique that we can make of theological liberalism. Constantly that it is ultimately moralistic, which then makes it a works religion. There's no offer of grace. There's no forgiveness that's there. It's just do better, and Mr. President, do better.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. I wrote about it because I'd seen a flurry of supposed evangelicals or from evangelical networks in Australia praising it as a Christ-like sermon. And my thought was, I wonder if you get the gospel in the way that it needs to be gotten, or are you just putting a political desire over the top of that? Because as much as you may agree with their politics or not agree with their politics, there wasn't a cruciform or a call to a gospel response as much as it was just a political statement. And then I go, well, what does that say about the state of churches in Australia if that is seen as a prime example of how you preach a sermon?
Well, again, and part of it, I think, is just that Trump does evoke such strong reactions, and
Yeah,
we've spoken about that
visceral
before.
responses.
Always like that Trump derangement syndrome. But then, of course, on the other side, and again, we need to make sure we keep saying this. There is the other TDS, which is the Trump delusional syndrome, where he is the Messiah. He's not a naughty boy. He is the Messiah, and he's God's great gift to America. And you're beginning to see some of that as well. So we've got the what we might call the Christian conservatives, the inheritors of the moral majority, kind of guys, and they are, and that's kind of more the fields that I'm familiar with. They are overwhelmingly positive about Trump, and of course scathing about Mariann Budde, but cheering and hurrahing on all the different things that are going on. I know more than one conservative Christian in America who, on the days after Election Day, went, one guy went, all my prayers have been answered, and I went, really? All your prayers? Was that the focus of your prayers?
For Jesus coming back, or praying Maranatha, which would be one of your prayers, surely, if you're.
Well, exactly.